What's up, everybody, and welcome to Pot on the Tyne. Unfortunately, Dave is not here again. I believe it's a work-related sickness we'll go for. But he will not be getting paid. So if he's listening...
What? Wait, are we getting paid for this?
Never mind that.
Should I be getting paid for this?
I am your paid host, Dan Hewitt, and my alongside me is the unpaid Brett Amer.
An unpaid hello from me.
Wonderful. Right, so... As per usual, I always say that we don't have much news to get through and stuff like that, but I think we'll be alright this week. There's quite a bit happened since we've had 2 weeks off. Okay. We'll start, as we always do, by going over what we've been up to this week. I'll be pretty quick with mine. As I said 2 weeks ago, I bought Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Started to beat the first, and it was this whole thing, 1.5 and 2.5, and it came with like 3 other ones that I think were meant for the DS. I beat the first one, beat the second one, got onto Kingdom Hearts 2, and I started to get bored.
Right.
And I was just like, you know what, I don't really fancy playing this. So I played a little bit of NBA 2017, because I'm up to date. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to buy The Division, and I could only play the first 3 missions of that because of the partial download. So then I started playing Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, yeah.
Old, reliable Final Fantasy 7.
Obviously the original.
Oh god!
It hasn't just slipped.
No, I have the remake. It's just me and Tetsuya Nomura. I've got the copies, and that's pretty much it for me gaming wise. Yeah, I kind of played Kingdom Hearts pretty hardcore for a week and then just got bored.
Right.
And
really, I'm surprised at that. It looked fun, man.
So I mean, if once Kingdom Hearts 3 goes down in price, I'll still probably buy it once it gets to like 25 quid. But even like the newest Assassin's Creed was on sale, but it was still like 30 quid. Far Cry 5, still 25 quid. It's like, I don't want to pay 25 quid for a game I'm only like, sort of interested in playing.
They're bringing out like a sequel to that as well, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like
set in the same place.
I think it's like a full... I know it's a fully fledged sequel, but I don't know if it's a full on game.
Yeah.
It might be like it's
like an expansion almost.
Yeah, so it might be like rather than being like 50 hours long, it might only be like 20.
Right. Okay.
But it is like a direct sequel.
Yeah. Apparently it's the same location, but it's like a different season or something like that.
It's I think that's the first time that Far Cry have ever really done that though, isn't it? Because normally the first one was like super soldiers on an island. The second one was like you're a mercenary in Africa. Then there was the whole thing with that. Oh, what was his name? It began with a V, wasn't it? Was it Vaco or something? Vango.
I can't remember.
And then the fourth one was like in Tibet, and then the fifth one was like the Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah.
And obviously there was that 80s one as well. Was it
that was
that
was an expansion of 3 though, wasn't it?
Yeah, because but that was like DLC, whereas this one's like a full release.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a full game. But again, I haven't really heard anyone talking about Far Cry whatsoever. As far as I'm concerned, it's people don't seem to really be interested in Far Cry.
Not really. I mean, it looks good. But
just another classic. Like, I want to play it, but I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, there's been plenty of times I've been sitting, like looking at Amazon, thinking I could buy it, but it just never actually manifests. It never actually happens.
this Game Pass thing, but the Xbox that I've got, the equivalent for PlayStation is the PS Now, which is predominantly PS3 games.
Yeah.
There's a few PS2 games and a few PS4 games, like the oldest of the old, like the ones that came out. But even the ones that weren't like successful.
Yeah.
So there's no like Star Wars Battlefront 1. That was too successful, but there is like
Battlefront 2.
There's there's NBA 2018 is available on there. I've only got 2017, so I'm like just paying 13 quid, but it's 13 quid, and I think the Game Pass is only
7 quid.
You know what I mean?
And you get brand new games.
So it's double the price. There's no brand new games.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but for that 13 quid, you could play all the PS3 games that you never got a chance to play. So it sort of seems worth it, but at the same time, as I say, I'd rather pay £10 once a month and get a brand new PS4 game, or even £15 or something.
You know, I mean, you could. I mean, surely most people who have a PS4 have the old PS3. You know, you could just get you go on eBay and get like a job lot of PS3 games.
Well, that's it. They were saying that the new PS5 apparently, the rumours are it's going to be backwards compatible and all that stuff. And I know
surely not all the way back to PS3 though.
Well, I don't know, because obviously the Xbox One goes back to Xbox 360, I believe. But I don't know if that's like a...
It does, but like, obviously it doesn't go back further than that.
Yeah.
So it goes back one generation. It doesn't go back to the next one.
I want to play my PlayStation 1 games on my PS5 in virtual reality. Thank you.
That's all I want.
That's all I want. I want to play Doom, the original OG.
Yeah.
In virtual reality on a
3D
PS5.
remastered.
You know it.
Yeah, I want to be able to smell and touch.
I want to be able to like go around my living room pretending I've got a chainsaw, screaming and shouting at people.
Yeah.
But that's it for me game wise. Which again, as I say, I didn't do much, but I still talked about for 5 minutes. I didn't play much. I didn't really enjoy it. This is like, just stop talking.
Yeah, I mean game wise. I mean I haven't done that much game wise either.
You know, I've still got. I'll tell you genuinely. I still feel like I've got a bit of Red Dead fatigue.
Oh yeah.
Because I played it so hard for so long that I'm still like...
feel a bit dazed and kind of confused. And
yeah, and that's why both my eyes are so red.
Like you've played it out, but you're also not going to get anything quite as the same experience with anything.
Yeah, because
else,
I'm also I've been watching trying to watch westerns and stuff, and I'm like, God damn, some of these western movies aren't as good as Red Dead 2.
Yep. So I think I'm probably right, and I'm trying to. What I've tried to do to remedy that is obviously I've got my Switch, like I say, so it's going in a completely different direction. Nothing story driven and stuff like that. I've got Super Smash Brothers. I got last week, the newest one, and it's obviously it's the same as all the rest of them, but it's the most fun you can have in a game.
That's it. There's all of the Nintendo stuff, the first party Nintendo stuff is always just like the same but better.
Yeah.
I find that it's very rare that you read a review that it's like, oh, Mario takes a massive step backwards.
Yeah.
No, it usually gets better and better.
It's just more intense than it was before.
Sometimes even they do they just re-release the newest Super Mario Brothers is the Wii U's version, and I think people are playing that who are like, I didn't even know Wii U existed, but I know the Switch exists.
Yeah.
So
and you can get Super Mario Brothers where you want it.
I think some people think it's like a brand new game, and it's like. 3 years old or something.
It's still I'm pretty sure it's still like 40 quid.
Oh, how dare they!
For
That's the problem with that is the problem with Nintendo, because unless you get an old version, if you get they'll stay full price forever. There's no reason for Mario Kart to ever drop in price.
No, because people who have just bought a Switch are obviously going to want Mario Kart.
It's whereas Grand Theft Auto comes out, it's 60 quid. Then or 60 quid, and then it'll very quickly plummet.
Yeah.
To the market is saturated with pre-owned copies of Grand Theft Auto.
I actually now you mention that, I'm pretty sure there was a deal on Xbox Live. I think Grand Theft Auto 5 was 25 quid, which for a Grand Theft Auto, for the newest Grand Theft Auto game, it's pretty
It's steep that but it's this whole online thing, the fact that it still lives online and all this stuff, but
it came out, the original version for the Xbox 360 2013 it was, yeah. I mean obviously, I'm talking about the Xbox One version, so it wouldn't have come out for it until a couple of years after that, but the actual game itself came out 2013.
2013, so it's imagine if you were copy of FIFA 2013, which is probably a penny.
Yeah.
5 pence.
Which when you play it now, I reckon will actually feel old.
Oh yeah.
Whereas Grand Theft Auto 5, it was so ahead of its time that it could have come out now. Really.
I remember playing FIFA 09, and my granddad being like, "I didn't know they were playing this early." I was like, "Well, first of all, it's Christmas Day." So they're definitely not playing today. Secondly, that's how good these graphics are. And then 1 year later, you're like, those graphics suck.
Yeah.
And then 10 years later, you're like, whoa.
Oh, it's so spoiling my eyes.
I think my granddad might have been blind. Because there's no way that you could confuse this with reality.
Yeah,
on a PS2 of all things. Insanity. It's like playing Resident Evil 4 and him being like, oh, the problems in Spain, eh?
Yeah.
This isn't realistic looking. What are you talking about?
So that's also what I've done as well as doing the Nintendo stuff. I haven't actually got around to playing it yet, but I have bought Resident Evil 2. Yeah. So like I say, it's probably that Red Dead fatigue, which means I haven't put it in yet. Mm-hmm. But it's there. It's sitting on my cabinet, and I'm going to play it soon.
I've been watching 2 guys play Red Dead 2, the board game.
Alright.
No, that's bullshit. Resident Evil 2, the board game. I was going to
say, I've never heard of Red Dead 2, the board
I would have had that board game if anything like that. But they're playing Resident Evil 2, the board game, and it looks like a good bit of fun.
Aye. I would love to play that.
That's the thing. Well,
is it a real actual board game?
Yeah. I'm thinking the next step from this is after we're going to move on from doing quizzes to just moving on to just
recording myself playing board games.
So it's just.
It's like, I own
Yahtzee.
It's like, I own that one. It's like, fuck you. I kill you.
I want everyone, just so you know, listening. I won the game.
But it's like got a thing of like you have to go around, collect, open the chests, get the get like then you can pick up a better gun. You have to use a certain amount of bullets. You have to roll the dice, and if you get like, you have to be like, I'm going to shoot this person 2 times, and you roll the dice, and then if you don't hit it, you like, if you hit them, you push them back one. If you hit them twice, you kill them, and stuff like that. And it looks like a right good laugh.
It sounds like such a ridiculous novelty, but I still really want to play it.
Oh yeah, and it's like, and then you get like 3 boards, and that's different floors. And you're like, on this floor is like, you need to get the key, the diamond key, and then you have to get the crest to open the door that has the diamond key
That's just
inside.
crazy. I hope it's got a stars office.
Yeah, it comes in like 6 parts,
Yeah.
and the second mission is get to the stars office and get the shotgun and get the stars office.
Crazy. So it's like a similar narrative to
It's set in the police station of Resident Evil 2,
ah.
and it's but there's more. You can be more than just Leon and Claire.
Right.
As other
Okay.
characters.
So it's a deeper storyline than actual.
And you get
Resident Evil 2.
9 bullets or something, and then at the end of each game you get your bullets reset, and you get like 3 reloads for the ball gun or the shotgun, but everything else you just run out. You have to go around and collect herbs, and you can act like if you die, you die.
Yeah.
The person has to continue playing by themselves. Obviously,
that sounds
that's
like
a waste
bit
of time.
Shitty abrupt ending. Like, to be fair,
Um,
they could at least just make you go back to the start or something.
Yeah,
or
just
pull you
start
back a
again.
bit.
But it looks like a very good laugh.
Yeah.
I like a game like that. I like a game that's more elevated than Monopoly,
Yeah.
but not as like complicated as Dungeons and
I mean,
Dragons.
most things are more elevated than Monopoly. To be fair, Monopoly is
Wait, name a board game that's more elevated than Monopoly.
Snakes and Ladders.
You're an idiot.
Cluedo.
I'm talking about like multiple different like die and stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Like something that's like I say somewhere. What's Dungeons and Dragons got like a 23-sided dice.
Right. Yeah.
That's too many.
Yeah.
But like just something that's got just a little bit more than just like roll, land somewhere.
Well, I mean, this sounds like it hits that
It does.
target.
So you're gonna buy me it, right?
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how this month goes.
Actually, I totally forgot to even mention, obviously, that not only was it your birthday, but it was also the birthday of the podcast. Our first episode went up on the 25th.
Ah, right. Okay. Nice one.
Those are the days.
So that was 2 days ago then.
So 2 days ago, a year ago, we were talking about Resident Evil 1.
So we've been going for a full year. Still haven't got an intro.
Still haven't got an intro, an outro. Still haven't got reset our name halfway through.
Yeah.
Still haven't even got a oh fuck, what was I going to say? We haven't even reached 52 episodes. It's a weekly podcast. Well, maybe.
I'd be surprised if we hit 30.
We're definitely done more than 30.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I think we've done all right there, then, to be honest. I mean, we've left it like 6 weeks.
At one point, we left it 6 weeks over Christmas, and we lost all of our sponsors. We got like 3 sponsors over Christmas, and then when we didn't put any new episodes out, they all pulled out.
You didn't even mention this.
Nah. Big. I forget. I think it was the University of like Cincinnati or something.
South Carolina, I think. You said.
Oh, was it South Carolina?
Yeah.
I'll double check and then I'll put a free plug in the next.
It might have been North Carolina. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I think it was. Yeah, because it was UNC, so University of North Carolina. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you're in the North Carolina area, go to University of North Carolina.
Yeah. Please.
And if they want to invite us out for a live show, we'll certainly do it.
I just just a trip over there.
Or just anything.
Yeah.
Just a £1.50 will do.
Sandwich.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, if you're in the North Carolina area, send us a sandwich.
I was thinking more like Subway vouchers.
I see. Not just like a peanut butter and jelly just on a plane.
I'm go for it. Why not? I'm not. Beggars can't be
Date
choosers.
of that sandwich when it got here. Be disgrace.
But peanut butter and jam both they last a while, man.
Ugh, I don't even like. That
I
kind
can't
of
speak for the
sandwich.
bread.
I don't even like that kind of sandwich. It's fucking gross. Now, film wise, I watched 47 Meters Down. I tried to watch it once and I found it too boring, so I tried to watch it again and I fast forward. I watched it on like double speed. It was still pretty boring, which really scares me because the guy who directed that, who wrote and directed that, is writing and directing the next Resident Evil.
Brilliant.
Now, the positive thing is you could say like you try to do suspense.
The negative thing is that he failed.
Well, even trying to do suspense and failing is better than what Paul Anderson did.
Right, yeah.
Which was to have no suspense whatsoever.
Yeah, like which is the opposite of what you want.
So at least you've got a director who's like, oh, I understand what tension is. I just can't really do it. That's better than.
It's still not ideal though.
That's better than someone being like, I've never heard what tension is. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I have some Japanese people I need to go and speak to about doing things that are Japanesey.
You know, I'm still. It's not ideal. I'd still rather.
Would I rather have James Wan? Obviously, I would have James Wan make a Mortal Kombat film, a Resident Evil film, and also Conker's Big Fur Day.
Yeah. Is it Conker's Bad Fur Day?
I don't fucking know.
He's Big Fur Day.
Big Fur Day.
Come on, Conker, it's your Big Fur Day.
Also starring Banjo Kazooie. Wonder what those two are up to. 47 meters down. I watched Rogue One again.
Oh yeah,
it's really really good. Still
it is very
good like that.
I hope it's still good. I mean,
still good.
You know, in the 2 or 3 years since it came out, if it went down that far,
well,
that's pretty bad aging.
Star Wars does have that effect though. Sometimes when you go back and you go, oh, actually, you watch episode 1 again and you're like,
that's just a puppet.
How could people you think back and you're like, how many years was that? Like, no, it's really good. It's really good. I really like it. And you're like, I didn't like it. I never liked a single second of it. I like Liam Neeson in it, but after that, other than that, I hated it every second more.
You're not allowed to say that anymore. You can't say that.
No, he's fine now. It's over.
Is that alright?
Do you know what? His film came out, and I don't think it did very well at the box office, but I don't think that's got anything to do with him.
Right.
I just think it was
it's
like.
Just a
I think people were like, I don't want to see Taken 12.
Right.
Because this one was taken in the snow. He's never done the snow before.
He's done the snow before.
When?
The one with the wolves.
But that wasn't Taken though.
It's almost Taken.
There was no child was kidnapped.
It had the same kind of attitude about it, I think.
I guess he was. He was trying to get home to his kids, I think.
Yeah.
I watched the John Benet Ramsey, the little 6-year-old girl who did all of the pageantry.
Oh yes.
Back in the 90s, and she was murdered. I watched a documentary about her, which I thought was very bizarre because it was just like the experts, like these 8 experts, analysing things about the case and then just jumping to conclusions and just being like, this note looks like it was written in a hurry. Yeah, that must have been that the mom wrote it. It's like, what? You're supposed to be like the best of the best of the best, and you're just like throwing out wild theories.
So instead of just showing you what happened, they're actually trying to investigate it.
Yeah, it was an unofficial. It was a documentary. But it was unofficially them getting together and trying to investigate it. But they didn't have any of all they had was photos from the crime scene and information, like written reports.
Were these people qualified to do investigations like this?
Yeah, some of them. One of them was the guy from The Staircase. Did you watch that documentary?
Oh yeah.
There was one from that, and there was another one who was in The Making a Murderer.
Right.
There's the Zellner one, season 2.
Right.
So there were proper people. Actually, did you hear that Stephen Avery's going to get another trial?
I didn't.
Stephen Avery's going to get another trial.
Alright, so that's going to be Making a Murderer Series 3.
Well, if he gets released, I think season 3 will come out. If he doesn't get released, I think they'll be like...
Just another one where it's like, it's still not happening.
They'll probably just do like a 1-hour special of like, he didn't get out, he's run out of chances.
It's just unbelievable, really, isn't it, that it's still even a thing?
Well, yeah, it is. But just doing our best to keep it in the zeitgeist. And if it hadn't happened, if it wasn't because of that Netflix TV show, I don't think obviously it would have happened.
Nah, I don't think it would have been revisited at all, would it? Really?
But like, I might just like, I don't know, man. Like, I love America, and I love like the the countryside of it, and the Route 66 and the desolate landscape and all that stuff. It's like a wonderful stuff. But you could get like straight murdered or set up for something that you were like, I have no idea how you even put me at the scene.
It's scary, man. It's scary. It is. Definitely. So.
I also watched Surviving R. Kelly.
Oh, Rita, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to watch that actually. Was that?
Well, I don't want to say I enjoyed it because that's the wrong word, but it was
interesting.
It was captivating to listen to those people talk about what he was up to, and it's like,
it's crazy. I've read some of the things about him, and it's mad. Like,
well, my question is always, and forever will be, and until I see TMZ or Sky News or whoever answer this question, I will forever be perplexed by Planet Earth. If he hasn't got enough money to post his bail, how is he paying for the women to stay in the house? Because he has these women, for argument's sake, it seems to be that he only has two now.
Right.
But let's for argument's
Because
sake...
they've all seen this documentary.
Well, but this is the thing. But if he goes to jail, he won't be able to pay for his house.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't pay for the house, it'll go into foreclosure and then they'll evict whoever lives there. Now, what are those women going to do who are in his cult? Are they just going to be like, well, I guess daddy's in jail, so I'll just go back to me real mum and dad? And
Well, I know that at least one of them has already done that.
I know, well, in the documentary, they snatch one of them and take her back, and the mum goes to the hotel.
That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I read actually.
But the interesting thing about that is that after 3 days of living with her mum, she went back to R. Kelly.
Right.
And then after a few more days, she went, I don't want to be with you anymore, and went back home.
Right. Okay.
So, but the two girls two women turned up at his court where he was like, I haven't got enough money to post bail, put me back in jail. And both their parents were there and they didn't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
But like I say, in a few months' time, when this guy goes to jail and they've got nowhere to live, what's the plan?
Yeah.
Because even if they're totally harassed by R. Kelly, they've still got to find somewhere to live.
I don't know, man.
It's
one of many questions, though.
But that's the thing is, I always find it very interesting that they're really, really focusing on R. Kelly, but no one's actually asking, well, hang on, what about the girls who he's paying for?
Well, there's
What happens to
a
them?
few kind of ways that can go, really, isn't there? Like, I mean, are they actually known people? Are they like, you know, that they're not that haven't been that identities haven't been hidden or anything like that?
No. The two of them, the two girls who were at the court are the two daughters of the people who were in the documentary.
So what I think is either they could, exactly what you said, try and go back to their parents, try to make up, probably fail, you know, have their whole lives ruined as if it's not already
Because
already.
some of them got jobs.
Or they could go down the route of trying to be like reality stars.
Oh God, do you think so?
I wouldn't put.
I mean, that's a good shout there. Then it'd be like freeing R. Kelly as opposed to surviving R. Kelly. Yeah, that would be just great.
I wouldn't put it past them, and then they'll be turned up in like Celebrity Big Brother and stuff.
Oh,
based on,
God.
like, you know.
Oh, it's horrible.
I wouldn't put it that. It is horrible. Obviously the whole situation's horrible, but it's the ugly side of like Hollywood, isn't it? You know.
It's mental. It's mental. I believe I can fly. You'll never hear it again. That's the thing you got to remember as well. It's not just him and the girl. Like girls, you got to think about. You got to think about like every person who was to get residuals from him for the rest of their lives are going to lose them all.
Yeah.
They're going to be people. You know, if you found, you know, imagine like it's the same thing with not My Chemical Romance, Lost Prophets.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a drum player who is getting whatever £100,000 a year every year as residuals, and he's lost that income.
Yeah.
His children have lost that
Well,
income.
I think another thing with that is it's the entire band's reputation that's always been destroyed as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
They actually tried. They formed a new band immediately after this had happened, thinking, right, let's get straight back into it. We'll go in a completely different direction, remove ourselves as far as possible, because they must be gutted. So they're thinking, right, let's like, jump straight back on it, remove ourselves, and it just failed immediately because people the stigma's still attached to it. It'll never leave.
They would have had to have like it talking about a different direction. They would have had to have literally done like a Daft Punk and put like masks on and be like, oh, I wonder who they are.
Yeah.
Before anyone
But
would
then
be like,
they would still not sell anything because
they
nobody would know who they were.
It was it is terrible stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to watch Space Jam again?
I mean,
they're making Space Jam 2 right now, and I bet someone's like, I cannot believe this.
Yeah.
Just one more year, and we could have put I Believe I Can Fly in this. There's always some selfish bastard.
But
no
then
matter what horrible things happen, there's always someone who's like, well, what about me?
well, part of it'll be like, well, bloody hell, at least, you know, we didn't put it out, and then immediately the documentary came out and ruined our entire film.
I guess so.
But, you know, I think it's a pretty small part of the film, really, isn't it?
It's the most important part as well. What have you watched then?
So, I haven't actually watched a lot of films. I've just been going back to that kind of Netflix kind of stage. I've been watching like older stuff like Peep Show. I watched the new Alan Partridge
I missed
series
that.
that started on Monday. Great. I'll not say anything about it.
I know a lot of people don't like it.
Oh, I loved it. I always will, though. I can't see him putting a foot wrong, to be honest. Film wise, the only thing that comes to mind, like I say, I haven't written anything down at all. I've got a terrible memory. I watched The Favourite in the run up to the Oscars. Class. Really enjoyed it. Olivia Colman deserved an Oscar. What I did think though was Rachel Weisz. She was the only one who didn't kind of receive any kind of recognition, nominations, anything, and she was the best one in it.
Can't remember who. Was that Regina King for that If Beale Street Could Talk? Which I think is the guy who did Moonlight.
What's that for supporting actress? You mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but even in like I think BAFTAs, Emma Stone got a nomination for. Did she even get it? I'm pretty sure that Olivia Colman and Emma Stone have both won awards, and Rachel Weisz hasn't won any.
Well, I think it's not really interested in anything. The Oscars. It's like it's.
Absolutely not, but it just you know, it's not even just the Oscars, just for any of them, because some of the obviously the award shows and stuff are a little bit more in touch with reality.
MTV Movie Awards.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but why not?
Villain of the year, hero of the year, kiss of the year.
I was just about to say, snog of the year.
They get it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously, when films like Twilight get like across the board things, but you know, I still think they're probably a little bit more in touch with the Oscars because that's just all about politics, isn't it?
Oh, don't fucking say that. You'll get in trouble.
Fuck the Academy.
Oh, that's not what I mean. Right, let's get on to some news then. We've got, as I say, quite a bit to get through.
Yeah.
So, I didn't put numbers on these for some stupid reason.
Oh, you idiot!
Oh, well, bloody idiot. I'm off the post to be out. Okay, so number one, there's gonna be that's again.
It's not number one. You haven't got a number.
Oh yeah, number A.
Batman symbol.
There's going to be a prequel to Gremlins.
A prequel,
but it's going to be a cartoon. So there might be like a cartoon about Mogwais.
So when did Gremlins come out? 80s, wasn't it? Like early 80s. So now someone's thought, oh, do you know what we need? A Gremlins prequel, which is also a cartoon.
Yeah, someone was like, we should do a sequel. No wait, prequel.
Alright, okay, well let's do a live action prequel. No, wait. God, animating.
CGI? No wait, hand drawn. Like,
is that what it's going to be?
It's like all you're doing is taking what I'm saying, doing the opposite. Why do we hire you? I don't know. No wait.
Okay, let's just make a good film. No shit.
So that's something that's happening. Quiet Place 2. John Krasinski is back writing, directing, and Emily Blunt is supposed to be back. Well, apparently everyone's supposed to be back.
Like actually, like as well as writing, directing, actually in the film as well.
Yes, but obviously that could be like in a smaller role or a flashback or a.
Oh, I was going to say Krasinski,
it could be a like a well, for argument's sake, a ghost where she talks to it and it's like an imagination or shit like that.
Or it could be a prequel. Is that information on there? I mean,
I don't
know.
Because
it could be somewhere in between, what happened at the start, or it could be. Could be the run up.
The only thing I know is that there was the photo of like a doorway tweeted out, and he was like, "I'm going back to this address." Right. So I don't know if that's probably. I would guess a sequel.
All right.
But
I thought, that doesn't make any sense. Have you seen it? Have you?
I've seen it, but I didn't really read the tweet properly.
So I don't understand. I don't see what relevance that would have. I think that would more point to it being a prequel.
Possibly, but there's nothing official's come out. Officially, they haven't even signed up, but like everyone knows they have.
Yeah.
So the Halo TV show lost its director. It's like its main person, and then they've replaced him with the guy who did that Robin Hood film.
Yes.
I think his name's Otto Barhurst.
Right.
Apparently supposed to be a really good up and coming director, but obviously Robin Hood didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Halo will take place in the universe that first came to be in 2001, dramatising an epic 26th century conflict between humanity and an alien threat known as the Covenant. Halo will weave deeply drawn personal stories with action, adventure, and a richly imagined vision of the future. So apparently that's supposed to start filming for a 10-episode TV show later this year, and then to be shown next year.
Nice.
That'll be the first proper. Hopefully, that'll be the first good video game TV show.
Is it got like a big budget
Yeah, it's gonna be. Well, you say that, but then you think about things like. I'm trying to think of something like. Is it what was it? Is it like Stargate and stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I had in mind. There is it going to be something that's going to go straight on the Sci-Fi Channel? You know, that kind of thing.
So yeah, it could be. Could very well be, but we'll find out. Chris Hemsworth is playing Hulk Hogan in a biopic.
Nice one.
I was hoping for more like. Sounds really good, brother.
No, I'll stand by my reaction.
I would feel like try and do the voice and stuff, but we'll find out.
Well, he's going to have to, isn't he? Like, if he can't just, he's not going to walk in there doing Australian.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, I'm not going to do an impression, I'm going to do like my own thing.
That would just not work at all. if nobody is turning up to that film thinking, oh, I want him to downplay him a bit, you know? Like, nobody wants Hulk Hogan to be downplayed.
Play it like as big as possible, and then they go the complete other way, and you're like, oh.
I want Thunder in Paradise level.
I want it to be, what is it? Santa with muscles, or isn't there one where he plays like a nanny? Is it Mr. Nanny?
No, I can't say I've seen that.
Yeah. There's a few Hulk Hogan films where he like plays like an absolute lunatic.
The only thing I've seen him in is Thunder in Paradise. That's enough.
I'm sure Mr. Nanny, if it is called that, is his biggest, like his most successful film ever.
Right. Is that kind of like that one that Vin Diesel did, like the
Pacifier?
Yeah,
almost exactly the same.
Really?
In fact, it might be the same film.
It's a remake.
Vin Diesel was one of the kids, and he was like, "Hang on, I remember. I have an idea for a script." The Lost Boys is getting a TV show.
That's exactly what everyone needs.
I don't know. It's super weird. It's and like when you go back, like I know there'll be a lot of love for like the Lost Boys, but when you really watch it, it's not really that good.
It's
I don't think
down to nothing being original anymore. Again, man, like you know, it's like what can we dig up?
Well, I'll give you originality. How about an Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show? Original stories with based in you know.
Well, everyone's going to get their own you know film or TV show at some point in Star Wars, isn't it? The franchise is just going to be completely blown open.
Yeah, that's not confirmed. That's just the latest rumor because there was a big thing. There was going to be an Obi-Wan Kenobi film. But now I think there's going to be like a TV show because it's much like obviously the budget will be lower and it's a safer bet.
Right.
Like that is because everyone. I think in September Disney start their streaming service. They're doing everything they can to get everybody to go on there.
So how much are we betting, or how long before the Jar Jar Binks movie comes out?
Oh, day one, launch day. And linked to that, all of the Netflix Marvel shows have been cancelled. So obviously Luke Cage, Iron Fist were already gone, Daredevil then went, Punisher and Jessica Jones have both been cancelled, although they're still filming Jessica Jones Series 3.
Apparently, yeah, they're going to release the last Jessica Jones series, but then it's not happening after that.
The rumour just seems to be that like something like Netflix were paying Marvel for like the right to show it on Netflix,
yeah,
and it wasn't doing the numbers based on the cost they were paying Marvel.
I heard it was more along the lines of that there was actually some kind of dispute between Netflix and Marvel because of Disney bringing out their own streaming service.
Oh, I can almost guarantee that whichever one of they're probably both the truth because obviously all of the viewing ratings have dropped on all the shows, no matter how good they were.
Even it was a shame. I thought Daredevil was doing all right.
Daredevil was
Punisher was doing all right.
Well, Daredevil. Well, Netflix said that like the Punisher's like figures dropped by like 40%.
Really?
And then I think Daredevil's was about the same,
right?
And it was still its more successful one, but they just Well, obviously when someone's releasing their own streaming service to be a rival to yours, and they've effectively all of the Disney stuff from now on, after I think Captain Marvel will be the first thing that goes onto the streaming service. It won't go on Netflix,
right?
And so like from that point they've pretty much cancelled all their deals with everybody. It's
just such a shame. And like I said, I mean, I know there's always more to it. It's not something. It's always something that was going to happen, but I just think they've made a mistake. It was still Netflix's decision to drop these things, and you know everyone's going off about it. Eminem tweeted saying that he wasn't happy about the Punisher getting cancelled.
And the funny thing is, if Marvel believe in them so much, they can easily just be like, "Well, hang on, we just made all of these. Netflix didn't make them. We made them, so let's just keep making them and put them on our."
They don't have to cancel them altogether. But that's just the cynical thing about the industry, isn't it? It's just like they don't care that people actually enjoy it. That people actually have fans.
It's all about the delivery.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, let's move on to the next shitty, unoriginal thing.
Well, speaking of unoriginal, how about Jumanji 3?
How about it?
So, we all agreed that we all enjoyed Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and the first picture's been released of Jumanji 3, and it's someone holding what looks like a Super Nintendo cartridge.
Alright.
That says Jumanji on it.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that's
it's the same kind of crack then, basically.
Yeah.
As the last one.
So that's what I'm guessing it's going to be. Might just be the same machine.
I mean, you'd think that if they're going to mix it up from the first one to the second one,
they've got to find a way for those people to be like, we need to go back to Jumanji.
yeah.
So I'm going to guess like maybe one of them's got a little brother.
Let's
who
call it.
plays
You could make it like a handheld console. You could make it a phone app.
I really thought it was going to be a phone app, but
Yeah.
based on that picture, I guess not.
No.
Ben Affleck's officially resigned as Batman. He's gone.
Yeah. I heard
No
about
more.
that. Batfleck.
And last rumour was that Armie Hammer was the favourite for it. Apparently Matt Reeves wants someone in their 20s, they want the studio wants someone in their 30s, Armie Hammer's 32. He was supposed to do it before George Miller did Mad Max. He was going to make a Justice League film and just like no Batman, no Wonder Woman, just Justice League, and it was going to be like 7 people.
Right.
Adam Brody from the OC was going to be the Flash. He was going to be Batman. Some guy who ended up in one of the G.I. Joe films was going to be Superman. I think a model was going to be Wonder Woman.
Right.
It was all over the place. But to be fair, the guy who made Mad Max Fury Road, I'd be interested to see what he could pull together.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That it would be exciting either way.
Because if they didn't care and they were like, "Oh, just do whatever you want, it doesn't matter,"
Yeah.
then he could have done something really special.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely. That's never going to happen like nowadays, though. Man.
well, he also massively fell out with Warner Brothers.
Really?
I think he tried to sue them.
Really?
I
Well,
think
after
Mad Max, I'm sure he didn't get like they said. Oh, if it does, like I think it was something as silly as if it gets an Oscar nomination, we'll give you $5 million.
Right.
And then they didn't give him the $5 million. It's like, well, I'm going to sue you now. And they're like, "Can we not come to a deal?" It's like, yeah, we did come to a deal.
Done a deal, yeah.
In this contract, yeah. You see this? Where's my money?
So is this why we haven't had another Mad Max so far?
That's almost exactly the reason why you haven't had another Mad Max.
That's really cutting. I love that Mad Max.
Because I think it might be another thing of like maybe George Miller like owns the rights to it. You know how like James Cameron owns Terminator, but then like Paramount helped him make it.
That's still. I mean, surely there's still linked to it in a way, though.
Yeah,
Surely
I think Warner Brothers have got like some sort of like share, like maybe 50% of share of it.
Yeah.
And if George won't play ball, then it won't get made. And George Miller's also, if I remember correctly, like in his late 70s, early 80s. So you can't really like. They might just try to be.
Let's not fuck about here. Let's get this
let's
sorted,
like,
man.
guys.
Let's get it made.
So.
But about Armie Hammer,
I like Armie Hammer.
I think he's all right.
I just don't think he's Batman.
He's not Batman at all. You're replacing. He's going to make just as boring a Batman as Ben Affleck did.
But he might have been an interesting Batman 10 years ago when he was like 22. Yeah, that might have been like a real like star performance. But now it's like I already know everything I need to know about Armie Hammer.
Yeah.
To be fair, he has surprised in like with some good acting and like Call Me by Your Name and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he will still for like forever be.
You want someone who's going to put everything into it, like Christian Bale did. You know, he's not just a man who looks like he could be Batman. In fact, he doesn't look like that at all.
Yeah.
He's a method actor who put everything into it, and that's exactly what you want. You don't want just someone who's the right, stature and looks like he might be a playboy. You want a method actor who's actually going to excite, like do an exciting part.
Yeah. Just get the guy who does the voice.
Yeah.
And then get Mark Hamill to play the Joker. I'd watch that.
Oh yeah.
Assassin's Creed. Apparently the next one's coming out in 2020 and it will be set in the Roman Empire. So going back to Italy. Doing this whole apparently they're doing like this whole like BC trilogy. So they did Egypt, then they did Greece, then they'll go and do the Roman Empire.
Okay. So it's like they're running out of ages, so they need to go.
Yeah, just do one set now or the Wild fucking West. Anything else I'm not interested in. Thank you.
That would be interesting to see a modern day mind. I would like to see that.
Just do Desmond now.
Yeah.
Just do Desmond running around. Just do Desmond running like leaping through New York.
He's learned loads of new tricks and stuff. Let's
yeah, the Animus has given him all the power from all these ancestors. It's not that difficult.
And now he wants to kill fuckers.
That's what they try to do with the film.
Yeah.
And then in the middle, oh well, that didn't work, so I'm not going to do that now. It's like, well, no, you shouldn't have done that for the film. You should have done it for a game. You clowns. Watch Dogs 3 apparently has been copyrighted. Didn't even finish Watch Dogs 1. Didn't even play Watch Dogs 2. Don't know anyone who bought it. Don't know anyone who played it. Don't know why they're making a Watch Dogs 3. Unless they've got like some amazing new technology that they're going to try and show off. But no interest in that whatsoever.
I played on both the first two. I feel like there was so much potential there, but it just didn't.
I feel like there was like 7 things you could do with your phone and that was it.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much just like, there's a drug deal happening around the corner. Run around the corner, get the package before the drug dealer gets there. Oh, the drug dealer saw you. Shoot them.
But when the trailers came out, it looked amazing.
Oh yeah.
When you could control all the city's electronics and you could do all this.
You could make the things pop up in the middle of a car chase and the car would go flying. All that stuff. It's like, in a film, that's all great.
Yeah.
And there was going to be a Watch Dogs film. I don't know. I think that's probably dead as well because the sales were so bad. But like, the second one just looked like exactly the same as the first one.
Right.
I think it might have even been the same main character and the same city. Not interested. This will annoy you. So there's a Skull and Bones is a new pirate game coming out.
Right.
It's not even out yet. They've already decided that this game's going to be so good that they're going to make a pirate-themed TV show about it. That's going to be all about female pirates.
Right. Okay. So is the game about female pirates?
I don't think so.
That's a tenuous link.
Effectively, you've just took the name and went, I guess we can do this.
Pirates.
It's effectively like we could go making a TV show. That Black Flag had been like in the very last episode, being like, and then he became an assassin. It's Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's like, no, it's not. You just put that in the last episode to trick me. And then, as we've already discussed many times, Alien. Apparently the new thing is that there's going to be a TV show. Details are scarce at the moment, but there might be multiple seasons that could tackle different corners/eras of the franchise, not unlike the Fargo TV show. In theory, you could see them possibly filling gaps in the franchise or crafting brand new stories to tell within the Alien universe. It still is the very, very early days with the project, so there's not much to speak about at this moment.
Okay.
An Alien TV show?
Why not? I mean, you know, it's...
It needs to be scary.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And if they're going to hold back on, like, the scares and the gore to focus on, like, oh, well, how, you know, and do all the Prometheus stuff and ask questions about, like, oh, well, where did the technology come from? Rather than actually being like, no, let's just get scared.
Yeah.
That's what worries me.
They keep on fucking it up, like, basically. Yeah. And it's such a simple premise. It's got such potential to make a great film out of it if you keep it simple and scary.
Like, we're talking about, like, Friday the 13th, after, like, the first 3 are pretty, like, laughable.
Yeah.
And poorly made and schlocky and all this stuff. But they always do what they say they're going to do, which is Jason's going to turn up, he's going to have a machete, and people are going to die. Whereas
this is what you came to see.
Alien keeps being like, well, do you really want to see the alien?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather learn about Danny McBride's character?
Yeah.
Like, no. I'd rather see him playing ice hockey and doing funny one-liners or get fucking killed. Anything else I'm not interested in. Yeah, you say that. But what? No. I want to see an alien.
But also, I think it's Alien. Obviously, the thing that makes those films good is the actual alien itself.
Mm-hmm.
The premise, the actual, you know, the situation that she's been put in. That's the reason they're popular. I think they've got delusions of grandeur to what actually makes the film popular. It's not the best film in the world. It hasn't got the best writing in the world. It's just really cool.
Yeah, they just nailed it.
And they're forgetting that that's why it's popular. Like that's all it is. Don't get on your high horse and start becoming like, you know, it's not Citizen Kane, you know.
Oh my god. I wish the fucking Xenomorph turned up in the Citizen Kane. Two more bits and pieces. So we've got some more Sonic news, thank God.
Hey, it's been a while.
Junkie XL will be the Sonic the Hedgehog composer. He worked with Hans Zimmer on the like the Batman and the Justice League and stuff like that. So he's a very like bombastic composer. So interesting, but
that's not interesting at all.
It's good to see that there's still Sonic news coming out.
Yeah,
Where's the trailer?
True. But that's a pretty weak piece of news, though. Like,
it's top story.
Yeah,
it was when I was going through. It was the number 4 story in like the video game world. Really? And I was like, all right, fair enough.
Junkie XL.
I like Junkie XL. I think he's all right.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to talk about was this this Dune film that's happening, or Dune, I believe it might be.
Oh
yeah, Dune. There's something weird going on with this film because. First of all, it's being directed by Denis Villeneuve, who did Blade Runner and all 2049, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But listen to this cast, if you dare: Timothy Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Dave Bautista, Stellan Skarsgård, Charlotte Rampling, Oscar Isaac, Zendaya, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, Jason Momoa, and David Dastmalchian.
Wow.
But what the hell's going on?
That is a cast.
Like, what is this film? Because
Dune.
I remember Dune being really, really boring.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, the books being, like, well, the book being really boring. But Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, Jason Momoa, and Dave Bautista all in the same film.
Yeah. I mean, they say it's boring, but hasn't it got, like, a big cult following?
It's got a huge cult following.
So maybe they're just trying to play on that, but it's weird that they will go from cult to like mad big massive budget cast.
It feels to me that they're like, oh, we really think we could like do something big with this film. Let's fill it with superstars and hopefully we'll get regular people in to watch it. But I don't know. I think this could be another. I was surprised by that Alita Battle Angel. That got really good reviews. And it did like about 150 million. I really thought that was going to bomb hard.
I'm surprised at that as well.
It cost about 90 to make, and it made about 150.
Right.
And it was huge in China. I think China gave it like 60 million of that 150.
Right.
So, so I could be wrong about this one, but that's just there's a lot of money there. This feels like another Blade Runner 2049, where it's going to be like everyone loves it. It's a critical darling. It wins Oscars, and then no one really went to see it.
Yeah.
It makes like 200 million, but it costs 250 to make.
Yeah.
But we'll find out. And that is all of the news. There was one more thing I wanted to discuss before we move on.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think what we'll do is we'll probably have a discussion about this, and then we'll wrap it up there, and then we'll just discuss what we're going to be talking about after that.
Yeah.
So this is something that I thought was really interesting, and I thought it would have been really good if we had the three of us. I'm sure it'd be still the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
But the director and writer of Uncharted, Amy Hennig, said that single-player focused, character-driven games without multiplayer are on the edge of extinction, and that pretty much people are more interested now in just playing online and just kind of doing like the Fortnite thing, the Battle Royale thing of just playing, killing, dying yourself, doing, going on combos, getting pickups, leveling up that character, and then just rinse and repeat, just doing the same thing over and over again, rather than being like, I want to sit by myself, learn about these characters.
Who said this? Sorry, who was this from?
The writer-director of the Uncharted series. She did all four of them.
I think that's an exaggeration.
No, 5.
I think that's an exaggeration. I mean, like you say, when Red Dead, just recently came out, people didn't buy that for the online.
So here's the exact quote. The idea of a finite 8-ish hour experience that has no second modes, no online, the only replayability was the fact that you could unlock cheats and stuff like that. No multiplayer, nothing, that doesn't fly anymore. Now you have to have a lot of hours of gameplay. 8 would never cut it. Usually some sort of online mode. And of course you see where things are pushing toward live services and battle royale and games as a service. All of these things, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but they play less nicely with story. They're less conducive to traditional storytelling that has a shape and an arc and a destination and end. A game that is a live service that continues does not. She was working with EA on a cancelled Star Wars game. That big one that was supposed to be like Uncharted in the Star Wars world.
Right.
Was destroyed.
That's a shame.
And is getting turned into a lower rent version of that game with and it will definitely have some sort of multiplayer involved in it. That's like arguably the best person in the business right now, talking about how she's trying to get games made that even have like the Star Wars banner attached.
It's still
And even like people, the EA were like, "Nah, this isn't going to work."
Yeah.
If it doesn't have a multiplayer, if it doesn't have loot boxes, if it can't compete with Fortnite, we're not interested.
That sounds more like the executives doing that than actual being driven by the fans, though. There's absolutely no question that if that game came out, it would sell a lot. That's them making assumptions and only trying to compete with the top game rather than actually just making good, solid games. Why does it always have to compete with the very, very best? Well, the very, very best is the wrong word.
Or the most commercial or whatever.
Yeah.
Or the most like I say, like they've started banning loot boxes. I know Holland's already like banned them entirely. So it's like, and it's always this thing of like, I don't know why Fortnite caught on. I don't know. There's another one come out now called like Apex or something, which
Apex Legends,
is gonna like replace it and stuff like this. And I don't know. It must be like a sign of the times, because I'm approaching 30, but I still play all of the most recent games in reality. Money wise and stuff like that. But I've got so little interest in playing online with people I don't know, listen to them jibber jabber, having to like die 50 times per round just to get 10 experience points, and I need 100 to get to the next level, and I'm 50 levels behind the nearest person in the thing, and it takes forever to matchmake, and then it takes forever, then it drops out, and then I've got to do the whole thing again. It just, none of that interests me.
Don't get me wrong, I like the odd online game. I'm not a big fan of the Battle Royale games in the slightest. But the only thing I can say about that is, I think what she's saying there is completely right. I disagree. Because to say that it's on the edge of extinction, it's just, that's a pretty big claim to make. I understand that the Battle Royale games are big at the minute. But it's obviously a phase.
I feel like it's very specific to like the action adventure. If you were doing like a Japanese RPG, you ain't getting multiplayer. They'll release games that remember what was that one? Was it like Urgies or something? Remember that? And it was like a fighting game that contained all the Final Fantasy characters.
Oh right, I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah, it was like on the PS1.
Right.
And I remember loving it. And that was like they released that because people were like, "Oh, we really love these Final Fantasy characters. I wish they were in a fighting game." And they were like, "Okay, we'll do that then."
Yeah.
Rather than being like, "Well, we'll stick a multiplayer on Final Fantasy VIII, and you can do like a Street Fighter with your friends." They built something separate for it. But like you say, like if you don't want to do like a 40-hour game, like a 50-60 hour game like a Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto, but you don't want to do a multiplayer game. I mean, I can really, in a big bad way, see someone saying, "You're doing a Star Wars game. It's only going to be 10 hours long. You're going to have to tack on a multiplayer, or we can't charge people £60 for that, $60, $50-$60 for that game." So I can sort of see that. But at the end of the day, like, I mean, how cheesed off would you be if you bought a game for £50 and it was 8 hours long? That's not even, like £7 an hour.
That's not the right. That's nothing to do with the writing of the game or anything like that, and it's nothing to do with the enjoyability of the game. I mean, I think it should be more of a case of if you're going to have to add to it expansions and DLC and that kind of thing.
Well, like the God of War, that took me probably about 25 hours to beat.
Yeah.
But it's still, over time, it took me like a week and a half. And I would say that's fair enough for a game to take a week to beat. Whereas Resident Evil 2 and stuff like that, as Dave told me, he finished that in 2 days because it was only 10 hours long.
Yeah.
If you've got a day off and you want to bang out 8 hours, you're pretty much already finished.
Yeah.
And because it's Resident Evil 2, you kind of be like, "Oh no, I know how far away I am from the end," because you obviously already played it really in reality. Whereas like, just like Final Fantasy, just like it used to keep going and going and going and going. But
you can spend weeks on it and
it never dragged.
Yeah.
Red Dead 2, I will say for me, did drag a little bit.
Right.
I was kind of like,
you did it in a different way. You did
I
it
did it the wrong way around. I did all the mini games at the beginning when I should have done them like halfway through.
Yeah.
So I got like kind of sick of doing the mini games, we knew the guy was like, let's go learn how to fish, and I'm like, learn how to fish? I've been fishing for weeks. But there's things like, I can see where she's coming from with regard to like, she obviously wanted to do something that was like a really, really good 10-hour experience, and EA were like, that's not going to work because that's not value for money, so you need to stick on a multiplayer. And she was like, I don't do multiplayer, and then they were like, bye then.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to be like, oh well, who's your replacement to do this like Star Wars action adventure game if not the person who did Uncharted? It's like, are the Last of Us guys available? Like, you know, it's that's difficult. And now for all of their fighting, you know, we've now missed out on a game. And apparently there's something called like, I think it's called something stupid like Double Force Friday, and it's going to be like a celebration of this new Star Wars game, the Mandalorian TV show, and Star Wars Episode 9, and it's happening on like the 22nd of October.
Right.
So I think maybe there'll be something like, but by then, if you're just announcing like details about a game a month before it comes out, like, you're in massive trouble. You know, like when Han Solo only showed its like first trailer like 3 months before it came out, it was like, oh no, like, oh no, like you may as well have went coming to Netflix next week. Like, it's absolutely terrible. It's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I still prefer, you know, single player, playing by myself, character, story driven. I'll never ever prefer multiplayer. But it might just be that because we couldn't have multiplayer
Honestly,
for like the first 15 years of our lives,
maybe,
it wasn't an option.
Maybe, but I don't really agree with what you're saying. I think that saying it's going to be extinct is a completely outlandish. It was never going to be extinct. I like the amount of people who bought Red Dead just to play Red Dead by themselves and enjoyed it now. Like, you know what? It's not just going to disappear. It's not on the brink of extinction. Of course, it's not. If anything, it might, you know, because of the reasons that you're saying there, because of the companies and the like the producers and stuff, because of what they're doing, it might die down for a bit, but it's always going to come back.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there's always like peaks and drops and things.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think there's obviously, so I feel like there is a bit of a really big divide.
And then obviously you got Fallout 76, which has done terribly. They're going to go back to making the games how they were.
Yeah, that was really a shit show.
Yeah.
Well, we always like to end on a high, so we'll wrap it up for that episode there, and then what we're going to do is next week we're going to discuss Brett's birthday pick, which was specifically Half-Life 2, but I'm sure we'll talk about Half-Life 1 as well.
Yeah, let's just do Half-Life.
And possibly even Half-Life 3. Who knows? Let's find out. So we'll leave it there, and we'll see you next time.
Ta-ta.